your hands behind your back.
My hand, please stop.
Put your hands behind your back.
Cooperate.
That's weird though. Okay, give it to him. Alexander Pineda. Alexander Pineda.
Drop the knife.
I need you to drop the knife.
What'd you expect? Holy.
Let go of the handcuffs. Let me get my foot down. You stupid ass white bitch.
On April 10, 2023, in Florida, officers were dispatched to a clinic following reports of a heated altercation between a man and a woman. The caller claimed the woman was physically assaulting the man, creating a scene in the clinic's lobby. When officers arrived, they found the pair mid-argument.
No.
What's going on?
Nothing. We're to go out there. We're not gonna talk out here. No.
You don't. You
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm pregnant. Don't touch me.
I don't care. I want you to go back in there.
I'm gonna record you.
Go in there.
I'll record. No, I'm not gonna. I don't have to be inside here.
Yes, ma'am. You
Ma'am, you don't have to touch me.
The woman repeatedly ignored commands to sit down, declaring she had no obligation to follow their instructions. Her protests grew louder, and her defiance escalated, forcing the officers to place her in handcuffs to maintain control. Despite this, she continued to resist, claiming she was being wrongfully restrained, all while her partner sat silently nearby, nursing visible injuries.
No, you're not, ma'am. Control this situation. I'll step back inside.
No, you guys need to stop. Let me go, sir.
You're about to go in here. You want to go in handcuffs or do you want to comply?
No, sir.
Then go sit down.
I don't want to.
Go sit down.
I'm not sitting down. I'm staying right here.
Ma'am, this is real simple. You're going to do what we say to do at this point because we're investigating a crime, or you will go in handcuffs and go to jail for resisting. Do you understand me?
In the middle of this chaotic scene, the woman mentioned she was pregnant, a detail that only added complexity to the unfolding events. The officers, trying to proceed cautiously, repeatedly asked for her identification, which she initially refused to provide. Eventually, after much resistance, she directed them to her purse, where her ID was located.
I gave it to you. I did my purse. I did my purse. It's in my purse. I'll give it to you.
You're going to cooperate.
No, I am. It's in my purse. You grab my purse. My wallet's in there. I don't want to talk. Just grab my information from my wallet.
You don't want to give us your information?
Yes, I am. I said I'll give it to my wallet. I'm not.
It's real simple. You had a chance to comply.
I won.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
As the officers probed deeper, the truth began to surface. The woman admitted she had been on probation due to a previous battery charge involving the same man. She confessed to being assigned anger management classes, which she failed to complete, and community service hours, which also remained unfinished. Her history painted a picture of someone with unresolved issues, and her actions at the clinic only seemed to reinforce this narrative.
I found it. Okay, just making sure.
No, inside the middle part. Middle, please. Right there. It's my passport. Give my passport to them.
And come on.
There you go. That's what I was gonna do. Just give you my ID. That's it.
Jack, come on.
For violating my probation.
The argument that led to the police being called stemmed from a confrontation about infidelity. The woman discovered that her partner had cheated on her twice with the same woman, a revelation that ignited her anger. She admitted to grabbing his shorts in an attempt to retrieve car keys, but the situation quickly spiraled out of control. In her words, the shirt ripping and injuries were all incidental, mere accidents caused by her trying to get her belongings and leave.
And the girl, I wanted to meet her face to face, and then that's when we came to here. We got to the argument, and I was grabbing his shorts to grab the keys so I could get out. I could get my purse out of the car, and that's when the shirts happened when I was coming. We were walking, and I kind of yanked it. I was hang with my purse, got stuck on it.
Despite her claims, the evidence told a different story. The man had a bloody lip and torn clothing, signs of a physical altercation that contradicted her narrative. Surveillance cameras outside the clinic and witness statements from bystanders further undermined her version of events.
So you don't want to tell me? Okay.
No, I want my turn.
Okay.
But do I gotta go arrested for this or no?
Well, we'll complete our investigation. We'll let you know.
Quiet, so.
Without being able to talk to you,
Well, if you talk to me, I need your name. I can't see your name, so I don't like talking to somebody without knowing their name.
Officer Biddle, BID Elliott.
Oh, now we can talk.
The officers, aware of her past and the inconsistencies in her story, questioned her further. She shifted her narrative multiple times, acknowledging physical contact but minimizing her actions. She claimed she only pushed his arm out of the way to grab the keys and insisted any damage to his shirt was accidental.
They have it right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so lead me into what happened while we're called out here.
They just called you guys.
Okay, so obviously something happened. I mean,
We just having the argument, we're just having the talking because the situation with a female that he had, and that was it. And then I found out that he's cheating on me twice with the same girl.
The man, on the other hand, seemed hesitant to incriminate her. He refrained from detailing the full extent of what had happened, only confirming enough to explain his injuries. His reluctance was likely influenced by their complicated history. They had 3 children together, though 2 were already in state care due to previous incidents. The 3rd child, yet unborn, added another layer of emotional complexity to an already fraught relationship.
So, and I'll give you backstory afterwards, but he won't go into detail, but pretty much that he went and picked her up this morning because she needed a ride here, and they got here, and she got upset because God.
you're out 2.
You guys have one kid together already?
We had 3.
3?
We had
How long you been together?
3 years.
The man's injuries, including his bloody lip, were a sticking point. When questioned, the woman denied striking him, suggesting he might have injured himself. Her claims were met with skepticism, especially given her history of physical aggression. The officers reminded her that surveillance footage and witness accounts would likely disprove her story, but she remained adamant, repeating her version of events like a mantra.
And you're saying that it never got physical?
It got physical, just me pushing him around, trying to get the keys out of his way.
You said pushing him around.
Like grabbing his arm out the way, like like moving his arm.
Grabbing his arm.
To get the car keys from his shorts so I could get some of my purse out. Just go.
At first, all you said was that,
Her attempts to downplay the situation only deepened the officers' suspicions. They noted that her pattern of behavior was consistent with someone unwilling to take accountability. Her probation status and previous battery charge added weight to their concerns. The man's reluctance to speak, coupled with her evasive answers, created a frustrating scenario for the officers tasked with untangling the truth.
Sir, probably.
I get that you're mad because you think he's cheating on you, or maybe he is cheating on you.
No, he did.
I get it. And you get emotional, and things happen. Things sometimes get out of control. People make mistakes, but cameras don't lie. That's the one thing that don't lie. Cameras don't
arm
lie.
out the way, and I probably ganked his shirt as well too by the app.
100% because it's all ripped up top.
As the investigation continued, it became clear that the woman's actions had long-lasting consequences. The couple's history of domestic issues and the involvement of Child Protective Services highlighted a volatile dynamic. The man's decision to pick her up that morning, despite their troubled past, underscored the complexity of their relationship.
anything else on here?
You can sit down right now if you want.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Slow. I just want to make sure you don't fall.
No, my baby's fine. It's just jumping up.
Let's put this back here first.
Because I want to do that for, I want to
I was here at the beginning.
Ultimately, the woman was taken into custody for her actions that day. Her defiance and inability to cooperate had left the officers with little choice. The man's injuries, her prior record, and the witness accounts painted a picture that couldn't be ignored. As she was led away, the consequences of her behavior loomed large, not just for her, but for her family.
Will you drop those in reverse? I got our package.
Wait a minute, I'm flipping.
You're fine.
Oh, I'll get it.
You okay? Well, I'll help you. All right, face away from me, and I'm gonna grab the seatbelt.
On a crisp September night in 2021, La Crosse, Wisconsin turned into a hub of commotion as officers on patrol noticed a swelling crowd encircling an altercation. At the center of the chaos stood 18-year-old Desire Burns, whose fiery demeanor left no room for subtlety.
I can get in! Get in! Let go of the handcuffs!
The officers wasted no time separating the brawlers, but Desire, rather than cooling off, decided to escalate the situation. As they tried to question her, she walked away, ignoring their commands. Her refusal to comply triggered a chain reaction of resistance, leaving officers with no choice but to take her into custody. moment they attempted to restrain her, Desire's defiance took a physical turn. She pulled away, made herself dead weight, and let her legs collapse beneath her. The officers struggled to manage her erratic behavior, which only worsened as she began kicking violently. In the scuffle, one officer took a hit to the groin, a painful reminder that Desire was not going down without a fight.
Let me go! I can walk! I can walk right over here. Look, you're not doing it. Put your hands behind you real quick.
When it came time to transport her to the squad car, Desire's resistance took a theatrical twist. She went limp again, forcing the officers to half carry, half drag her. Once inside the vehicle, she unleashed a torrent of insults and spitting, aiming her venom at anyone in earshot. She even boasted about the altercation, claiming victory over her opponent, and taunting the officers with graphic details.
Please just walk. No weapons.
Arriving at the jail didn't mellow her out. If anything, it amplified her erratic behavior. Refusing to cooperate with jail staff, she hurled more insults and accusations, pushing the limits of patience for everyone involved. The receiving area became another battleground as she shouted and demanded to be released. Her ranting oscillated between pleas for air and degrading remarks about the officers, highlighting her chaotic state of mind. It wasn't long before the tension in the room felt almost suffocating.
Bro! Let me the fuck out!
We need to go back to receiving. She's not going to cooperate.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Oh! Do you want to get the chair to see her?
Let me the fuck out! I can't fucking breathe!
In the midst of processing her, the officers made an unexpected discovery, a fake ID hidden among her belongings. This revelation added another layer of legal trouble to her mounting charges. The ID, a brazen attempt to sidestep the rules, only cemented the narrative of someone intent on living above the law. Coupled with evidence of underage drinking, the charges against her were beginning to pile up like a poorly stacked deck of cards.
Are you a lieutenant now?
Yeah.
Are you, do you need a secretary?
Why?
I'll go get your suits cleaned and pressed.
No, lieutenants like to get dirty too.
Get your coffee, whatever you need.
Proposing to city council.
There's a chair back there, right?
Yeah.
Desire's combative behavior toward law enforcement resulted in additional charges of resisting arrest, threatening an officer, and battery to an officer. The possession of a fake ID brought her further citations, each one adding another costly line to her tab. The fines alone for the ID and underage drinking reached up to $500, but the legal repercussions of her other charges loomed far more ominously.
Fucking calm. You guys are making me mad. Don't you guys understand? I already have tight ass handcuffs on me. Why the fuck are you guys black bitch? You don't even, I'm sleeping on the floor? Get the fuck off. Stand off. You're not dead.
Do you enjoy our content and want
For the officers, it was a night of grappling with someone whose resistance was as physical as it was verbal. Every move they made was met with defiance, turning what should have been a routine arrest into a spectacle of chaos. The injuries, insults, and threats they endured were a testament to the unpredictable nature of the job. Even after securing her in custody, the situation remained volatile, with every new development adding to the tension.
This is funny. I beat that bitch ass, officer. You saw me? You saw me beat her ass? Sir! You saw me beat her ass? I was beating that bitch ass. Fuck you talking about? Look at that bitch nose. Her shit bleeding, yup. Beat that bitch ass. Fuck you talking about? Bitch, don't push me. I'm ready to go to court tomorrow.
By the end of the ordeal, Desire's actions had carved a trail of destruction that was impossible to ignore. Her night began with a public altercation and ended with a slew of charges that would follow her for years. The scene in La Crosse may have quieted down, but the ripple effects of her decisions were just beginning. For Desire, it was a night of unrelenting resistance, but for everyone else involved, it was a stark reminder of how quickly chaos can unfold.
Let's go. Don't drag me. Don't drag me. Let's go. Let me go. I can walk.
On June 13, 2022, chaos erupted in Summers, Wisconsin, when 19-year-old Jonathan Peterson entered a convenience store armed with what appeared to be a rifle and a knife. Customers and employees scattered in fear as he pointed the rifle at an employee, issuing terrifying threats. Inside the store, panic set in, with 16 individuals seeking refuge wherever they could, hiding in walk-in coolers and offices, hoping to escape the imminent danger.
Where is he? Is there a guy in there with a gun?
Yeah.
What kind of gun?
Look like an assault rifle.
Law enforcement quickly responded after receiving frantic calls about the armed suspect. When deputies arrived, they confronted Jonathan, who stood near an ATM clutching the rifle. Officers demanded he drop his weapon, their voices steady despite the tense atmosphere. After a tense standoff, Jonathan tossed the rifle onto the counter. The relief was short-lived, however, as the weapon was revealed to be an airsoft gun, and Jonathan pulled out a knife, pressing it against his neck.
So he sounds like he's over there by the ATM.
ATM?
Ready?
Is that him by the ATM?
Yeah. Drop the gun!
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Drop the gun!
Drop the gun! Drop the gun right now!
Drop the gun!
Drop the gun!
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Deputies worked tirelessly to de-escalate the situation. Jonathan, emotionally distressed, repeatedly begged the officers to shoot him, his despair evident in every plea. Despite his volatile behavior and self-harm threats, the officers maintained their composure, urging him to surrender peacefully. Eventually, they deployed a taser, subduing Jonathan and taking him into custody without further harm to anyone in the store.
No, you're not. Yes, I am. Why? For what?
Drop the gun.
Why?
I'm gonna slice that, I swear to God. I want it back. Let me help you out. Put down the knife and we'll work.
No.
Put down the knife and we'll look.
Man, I want to see how much power those things got. Shoot me.
No.
Come on, man.
You don't need that.
Come on, just shoot me, please. I'm gonna take them.
Investigations later uncovered Jonathan's disturbing history with a female employee at the store. Months prior, he had relentlessly stalked and harassed her, leading to her obtaining a restraining order against him. Instead of respecting the boundaries set by the order, Jonathan plotted the confrontation, his actions spiraling into the dangerous incident that unfolded.
Right up here. Talking about going to jail, being F?
Yep.
During interviews, the woman recounted her fear and the unsettling moment she remembered Jonathan asking a judge during the restraining order hearing if he could still purchase a firearm. It was a chilling detail, offering a glimpse into the calculated nature of his behavior leading up to that day.
We ran out of plate. Comes back to him. Nothing in there that you saw? No one else is in there. I didn't see anything in plain view or anything. All right.
There's no probation, and there's a restraining order against him.
Jonathan's actions didn't just endanger himself, but placed numerous lives at risk. His erratic and aggressive behavior turned what could have been a peaceful day into a harrowing experience for everyone involved. The Kenosha County Sheriff's deputies were lauded for their professionalism and restraint, diffusing a potentially deadly scenario while ensuring no one was physically harmed. In court, Jonathan faced serious charges: stalking, making terrorist threats, false imprisonment, and violating a restraining order. The evidence was damning, and in December 2022, he was found guilty of all felony charges, while a misdemeanor charge was dismissed but factored into his sentencing. His emotional instability and remorse were evident as he addressed the court, thanking the deputies for saving his life and bringing the situation to a peaceful resolution. Ultimately, Jonathan was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison, with an additional 6 years of extended supervision. For the officers, the swift and measured response highlighted the importance of de-escalation tactics and professionalism in law enforcement. And for those inside the store that day, it was an experience they'll probably never forget. Nicole Campton's story begins with chaos as officers arrived on a humid July day in Sparta, Wisconsin, responding to reports of a physical altercation between her and her boyfriend. Witnesses had described troubling details. Nicole allegedly grabbed her boyfriend by the throat, ripped his shirt, and forced him to the ground in a scene that could only be described as raw and unsettling.
Stop right now! Stand up, please. Stand up, please. Do not pull away from me. Do you understand?
You're a man. You cannot.
The officers, well aware of the tense situation, approached with caution. Nicole, catching sight of them, didn't wait to exchange pleasantries. Instead, she made a sharp attempt to walk away, a move that would soon escalate into a dramatic chase. Her casual stride quickly turned into a full-on sprint, ignoring repeated orders to stop. Officers pursued her, the tension palpable. The chase was brief, but charged, with Nicole's refusal to comply making her capture inevitable. When she was finally restrained, the chaos didn't end there.
I'll take a second car. She's walking away from me now. Stand there.
Just don't tase her.
Stand there. Stand there.
Just don't tase her.
Okay, I won't.
Okay,
stand there.
Nice, please, okay?
Stand there.
She's not.
Stand there. Stop right now!
Nicole's resistance reached new heights as she flailed and protested, her words a mix of defiance and desperation. At one point, she kicked an officer in the leg, a move that earned her a felony battery charge.
Help her. And stop fighting.
I'm fucking trying, dude.
But you are trying. No. Roll up on your side so you can breathe.
The scene grew more intense as Nicole's resistance continued. She argued, thrashed, and refused to cooperate while officers attempted to conduct a search. Her refusal to let a male officer search her led to added complications, requiring backup to manage the situation. The officers, however, remained steadfast, their patience tested, but their professionalism intact.
Stand up.
It's so fucking hot.
I know. So I'm gonna turn to face the car. Do you have anything on you? Do you have anything on you I should know about?
Oh, 64. I have your 20 back when you're ready.
Meanwhile, witnesses painted a vivid picture of the events leading up to the confrontation. One neighbor recounted how Nicole had tackled her boyfriend to the ground and refused to let him leave, escalating an already heated situation. From jumping on his back to grabbing at his throat, Nicole's actions seemed relentless.
What did you see here?
So, I was sitting in front of my window and they came up with a stop sign, and basically she was all over him. He didn't really do anything, but she kept grabbing him, ripped his shirt open.
He's valid. Negative 99. No one. No kidding.
Kept jumping on top of him, trying to get him to the ground. They finally did get to the ground.
Her boyfriend, visibly shaken but cooperative with the officers, shared his perspective. He explained how their argument spiraled out of control over something as trivial as his preference to play games rather than spend time with her. It was a clash of temperaments, he explained, her fiery anger meeting his need for resolution.
That's my girlfriend.
That's what?
That's my girlfriend.
Just stand back with it. What's her name?
Nicole Kim.
Nicole Kim?
Campton. Campton.
What was going on?
A fight started in the house.
Okay.
He described how, after seeking refuge in the garage, Nicole followed him, reaching into his pockets and attempting to grab whatever she could. Her persistence left him cornered, unable to escape her grasp. The struggle continued as she grabbed at his belongings, fueling the already volatile situation.
I was just grabbing my cigarettes and stuff. She came out, started reaching in my pockets as if she was going to grab something. I just didn't want her to do that. I tried to leave. She kept following me. I just wanted some space.
No, she's got to also obey the law, so obey our commands.
Back at the scene, despite their repeated attempts to de-escalate the situation, Nicole's refusal to cooperate only compounded her legal troubles. The charges began to stack: felony battery for kicking the officer, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and possession of drug paraphernalia. It was a laundry list of offenses that reflected the chaos of the day. While some charges were dismissed, the court found her guilty of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. The judge, perhaps showing leniency, ruled that Nicole could seek expungement after 1 year if she remained charge-free and paid her fines. It was a lifeline of sorts, a chance to rebuild after the storm she had created. For Nicole, the opportunity to move past this chapter hinged on her ability to stay out of trouble.